Welcome once again, gentle folks, to another week for your NFL weekly predictions and betting tips. I hope you had a wonderful week last week. As usual, we have some surprise results in the NFL, but that's a given. The Bills had a really great comeback win against the Ravens. The Jaguars, they were in it for the most part, but the Eagles managed to fought their way out and they ended up winning. The game at the Buccaneers, the Chiefs went out ahead and Brady went after them, but unfortunately could not catch them back. And we had a record game. I think the game was against the Seahawks. I don't remember Seahawks and who played. I think that game ended with about 86 points. A record in the NFL. It's the first they've ever had a game that both teams went over. I think 40 or is it 41? I don't remember exactly. Yeah, but let's head straight into it for this week, and we're going to start with the Thursday night game, and that game is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Denver Broncos. All right, and for this game, the Indianapolis Colts will be visiting the Broncos, and for this game, the Colts, they have been playing really well, and so therefore, they've just been a little bit unfortunate, and so it's bad luck for them in a sense, yeah. And so for this game, this game is anybody's game, to be honest with you. But the Broncos are playing at home. They usually play very well at home, and so as a result, the things are edging in their favor. And I'm going to go with the Broncos to win this one, but I would not be surprised if the Colts come out and take it from them. I'm going with the Broncos to win this one, and in terms of the spread, I'm going to go with a 2.5 spread, minus 2.5 for the Broncos. And in terms of total points for this game, I am going with over 41.5 points for this game. Alright, over 41.5 points for this game. So recapping the Thursday night football game, Colts versus the Broncos. Colts visiting the Broncos. I'm expecting the Broncos to win here. And in terms of the spread, I'm going with minus 2.5 for the Broncos here. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game. Alright, so those were the predictions for the Colts versus the Broncos. Now we're going to move on to our next game, which is our Sunday games, and we're going to start with the Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Alright, and for this game, the Giants visiting the Packers. I'm expecting the Packers to continue their winning ways. I'm expecting the Packers to win here. In terms of spread, I'm going to go with I think it's going to be close, so I'm going to go with the 4.5 spread, and I'm taking the Green Bay Packers at minus 4.5. And in terms of total points, I'm going here and I'm going to say here we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game. Alright, so recapping the predictions for the Giants versus the Packers, I'm expecting the Packers to win. In terms of spread, I'm going with minus 4.5 here for the Packers. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're having over 41.5 points in this game. Alright, so let's move along to the next game. And our next game is Steelers versus the Bills. The Steelers had a loss last week. I tipped them to win last week, but they had a miserable loss last week. And the Bills, they had a close one, but they managed to eke out the win here. The Bills being at home, I'm expecting them to take care of business here. I'm expecting them to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with in terms of a spread here, I'm going to go with minus 9.5 for the Bills. Alright, the minus 9.5 for the Bills here. And in terms of total points in this game, I'm looking here and I'm saying that we're going to have over 42.5 points in this game. Alright, so recapping predictions for this game, the Bills versus the Steelers. I'm expecting the Bills to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going with minus 9.5 for the Bills, and in terms of total points, we're going to have over 42.5 points in this game, I do believe. Alright, so those are my predictions for the Bills versus the Steelers. And now we're going to skedaddle on to our next game, and our next game is the Chargers versus the Browns. Chargers visiting the Browns. The Chargers, they're a bit unpredictable, but the Browns, they have a few injury concerns, and so this will level out things a bit. But I do think the Browns should take care of business here, being at home. But the Chargers, they managed to find in their way back, and so it should be an interesting matchup. But I'm going to go with the Browns to win this one, being at home. Browns to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with minus 2.5 for the Browns, and in terms of total points, I'm going to say here we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. All right. So recapping predictions for the Browns versus the Chargers, I'm expecting the Browns to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going with minus 2.5 for the Browns here, and in terms of total points, I believe we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. All right. So those were my predictions for the Chargers versus the Browns, and now we're going to move right on to Texans versus the Jaguars. Jaguars at home, as I said, they are very efficient with the football. They might not have as much yardage as some other teams, but they are very efficient with the football this year, and I think that they should continue to be efficient. Pedersen, he's doing a good job there so far, and I'm saying that it should continue in this game. So I'm going to take the Jaguars to win here. And in terms of a spread, I am looking here at minus 3.5 for the Jaguars, and in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game. So predictions for Jaguars versus Texans, I'm expecting the Jaguars to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going with the Jaguars at minus 3.5, and also in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game. Alright, so those were the predictions for the Jaguars versus Texans game. Jaguars being the home team there, and we're moving right along to the Bears versus the Vikings. Bears visiting the Vikings. The Bears, they have been doing fair enough this season, and so therefore I'm expecting them to continue to do so. And so it's not going to be very easy for the Vikings, I do believe, but let's see what happens on Sunday. And so for this game, I'm going to take the Vikings to win. And in terms of a spread, I'm looking here and I'm going to go with the Vikings at minus 3.5. In terms of total points, I'm going here and I'm saying that we're going to have under 44.5 points in this game. Alright, so predictions for the Bears versus the Vikings, I'm expecting the Vikings to win. In terms of a spread, I'll say minus 3.5 for the Vikings. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have under 44.5 points in this game. Alright, so let's move right along into our next game. And our next game here is the Lions versus Patriots. The Detroit Lions visiting the New England Patriots. And so the New England Patriots had a very good outing last week against the Packers at the Packers. And so, but I'm expecting them to continue to do same here. The Lions, they have been playing very well, but the results haven't been going their way, and so it's very unfortunate for them. But they should continue to do well, and I think New England might be without their starting quarterback. I think he sustained an injury in the game on Sunday, and he might be out. But the guy that came in, he came in pretty early, and he did very well. And so hence the reason why you can't call New England onto this game. And I say this game is anybody's game, to be honest with you. And the Patriots being at home, Foxborough there, special conditions, not the kind of conditions that you'd find around the league in most stadiums. Maybe the only place maybe you could find something close to that, it might be at the stadium, might be, yeah. So but anyways, back to the predictions for this game. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win here. In terms of spread, I am looking here at minus 1.5 for the Patriots, and in terms of total points, I'm saying that we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game. Alright, so predictions for this game are New England Patriots versus the Detroit Lions. I'm expecting the New England Patriots to win here, and in terms of a spread, I'm saying minus 1.5 for New England, and in terms of total points, we're going to have over 41.5 points in this game, I do believe. Alright, so those are the predictions for the Lions versus the Patriots, yeah? And we're going to move on to our next game, which is Seahawks versus Saints. And the Seahawks versus Saints. The Seahawks, as I said, coming off a really lovely win in their last game, record game that is, in terms of total points. And so it was a really good one for them. And the Seahawks visiting the Saints here. The Saints have a few injury concerns. but we'll see. Maybe by the weekend they should get past those. But it's usually the well at home, but with the Seahawks being on the high that they are on, I'm expecting them to carry through and take the win here. So Seahawks to win. In terms of a spread, I would go ahead. I'm going to look here. I'm going to, in terms of a spread, I'm going to go with plus 3.5 for the Seahawks. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. All right. So recapping predictions, I'm expecting Seahawks to win. And also in terms of a spread, I'm saying plus 3.5 Seahawks. And in terms of total points, I'm expecting over 44.5 points in this game. So those are my predictions for the Seahawks versus the Saints. Alright, and so we're going to go to our next game, which is the Dolphins versus the Jets. Jets having a really good season so far. Dolphins having a really good one too. They lost the first game last week. They could have won, but well, having not been for that nasty injury to then they could have gone on to win and they would have challenged more. But not to discount what Bridgewater did. Bridgewater came in and he played very well. Bridgewater played very well, and so hence the reason why you can't count Miami out here. Being that Tua will be out for maybe about 6 or maybe so weeks. Yeah, but yeah. Let's get back to the predictions. Dolphins versus the Jets. This game being a home game for the Jets. I'm looking here and I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take Jets to win this one. Yeah, Jets to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with minus 1.5 for the Jets. And in terms of total points, I'm going to say here we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. So recapping predictions for the Dolphins versus the Jets game, I'm expecting the Jets to win. In terms of a spread, I'm saying 1.5 minus 1.5 Jets. And also total points, I'm saying we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. Alright, so let's move along to our next game, which is the Falcons versus the Buccaneers. Alright, Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a loss, Falcons coming off a win. I'm expecting the Buccaneers here being at home. They found 31 points last week at home against the Chiefs. The Chiefs went off to a very good start. And I'm expecting the Buccaneers here to come back to take revenge, and so therefore I'm expecting Tom Brady to return to winning ways. Tom Brady and his team to return to winning ways here. So expecting the Buccaneers to win. And in terms of a spread, I'm going with minus 4.5 for the Buccaneers. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we're going to have over 43.5 points, I do believe. Alright, so predictions for the Buccaneers versus the Falcons game. I'm expecting the Buccaneers to win. In terms of a spread, I'm taking minus 4.5 for the Buccaneers. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have over 43.5 points in this game. Alright, so let's move right along into our next game. And our next game is the Titans versus the Commanders. So the Titans versus the Commanders here. Commanders being the home team here. The Titans, depends on the start they get, then they might go on to win this game. It depends on the start they get in the game, that is, I should say. Should go on to win this game. And so therefore I'm not putting certain things past them. It's I think most things are in their favor at the moment for them to win this game, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to take the Commanders to win this one. Commanders to win. In terms of a spread, I'm looking here and I'm going to go with minus 2.5 for the Commanders. And in terms of total points, I'm looking here and I'm going to say we're going to have over 42.5 points in this game. So Titans versus the Washington Commanders, I'm expecting the Washington Commanders to win here. In terms of spread, I would go with minus 2.5 for the Commanders, and in terms of total points, I'm saying here we're going to have over 42.5 points in this game. Alright, so those are the predictions for the Washington Commanders versus the Tennessee Titans game. And now we're going to move right along into the 49ers versus the Carolina Panthers. So San Francisco 49ers versus the Carolina Panthers. So in terms of the predictions for this game, I think it's going to be a low scoring one, to be honest with you. And so therefore, in terms of predictions for this game, I'm going to take the 49ers to win. And in terms of a spread, I'm looking here and I'm seeing here I'm going to take the 49ers at minus 3.5 as well. And in terms of total points, I think we're going to have under, let me see here if I find it, I think we're going to have under 41.5 points. Alright, so predictions for the 49ers versus the Panthers. I'm expecting the 49ers to win. In terms of the spread, I'm saying that we're going to have the 49ers at minus 3.5. And also in terms of total points, we're going to have under 41.5 points in this game, I do believe. Alright, so those are the predictions for the 49ers versus the Panthers, and we're going to move along into our next game, which is the Eagles versus the Cardinals. The Eagles versus the Cardinals, this should be an interesting matchup, and I think this game is anybody's game, to be honest with you. Interesting matchup. Kyler Murray is down. His Hopkins is not back. I don't think he's gonna come back. No, I think he's out for maybe about 6 or more games. Yeah, gonna have to do some more research on that. But he didn't start the season, mind you. He's on suspension, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah. So, but they have been struggling. They are 2-2, and the Eagles, the only unbeaten team left in the NFL. Let's see if they continue that when they visit the Cardinals this week. And for me, in terms of my predictions here, I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win this one. In terms of a spread, I'm looking here and I'm going to go with Cardinals plus 3.5. And in terms of total points, I'm looking here and I'm going to say we're going to have over. We're going to have over 44.5 points. Sorry, folks. Yeah, we're going to have over 44.5 points in this game. Recapping predictions for Eagles versus Cardinals. Expecting the Cardinals to win. In terms of a spread, I'll take plus 3.5 for the Cardinals. In terms of total points, I'm saying 44.5 points. We should have over 44.5 points in this game. The Eagles versus the Cardinals. And we're going to move to our next game, and our next game on Sunday here is the Cowboys versus the Rams. And the Cowboys, they have been doing really well without Dak Prescott, surprising to some of us, but they have been doing very well. And the Rams, they have been doing very poorly. And so this game is another game that I would say anybody's game. Maybe next week at the end of the game, when you look on the scores, you're gonna say anybody's game, yeah. But it is anybody's game. I do believe it is anybody's game, based on what the Cowboys have been doing and based on how the Rams have been playing. Yeah. Right then. So my predictions for this game: Cowboys versus the Rams. The Cowboys visiting the Rams at the SoFi Stadium. There, I'm expecting the Rams to pull the rabbit. In this case, the ram out of the hat. Yeah, I'm expecting them to win, but I would be surprised if the Cowboys beat them based on what the Cowboys has been doing. But I'm taking the Rams to win here. In terms of a spread, I'm going to go with minus 3.5 for the Rams. And in terms of total points, I'm going to go with under 44.5 points in this game. All right, I'm expecting the Rams defense to come to the forefront here. And hence the reason why I'm giving them the edge here over the Cowboys. Yes, so recapping predictions, the Cowboys versus the Rams. I'm expecting the Rams to win here. And in terms of a spread, I'm taking the Rams at minus 3.5. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have under 44.5 points in these games. The Rams versus the Cowboys at the SoFi Stadium. And so let's move right along into our next game and our final game for Sunday, which is a late game. It is the Bengals versus the Ravens, and the Ravens are coming off a loss. Bengals came coming off a win. The Ravens will be trying to prove a point here, being at home. It's not going to be easy for the Bengals, but the Bengals, they seem to be warming up, and so Jackson will have to watch out, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy game for them there. So he's going to have to watch out, yeah? And so therefore, for this game, the Bengals versus the Ravens, I'm going to go with the Ravens to win here. Ravens to win. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Ravens at minus 2.5. And in terms of total points, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say we're going to have over 43.5 points for this game. Alright, so recapping predictions for the Bengals versus the Ravens. I'm expecting the Ravens to win. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Ravens at minus 2.5. In terms of total points, we should have over 43.5 points in this game. The Bengals versus the Ravens, this game being a home game for the Ravens. Alright, and so we're going to move on to Monday Night Football, which is the Raiders versus the Chiefs. And this one will be at the Arrowhead Stadium, and I'm expecting this one to be somewhat high scoring. When I say high scoring, I'm expecting maybe about 50 or more points. And so we're going to go with the Chiefs to win here, being at home, Chiefs to win. And in terms of the spread, I'm going to go with the Chiefs at minus 4.5. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we're going to have over. Let's see if I find what I'm looking for here. And I had 44.5. So I'm not saying 44.5, so I'm going to go with 46.5 here. Yeah, I'm going to have over 46.5 points in this game, alright? So, recapping predictions, the Raiders versus the Chiefs. Raiders visiting the Chiefs. I'm expecting the Chiefs to win here. And in terms of a spread, I'm going with the Chiefs at minus 4.5. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we're going to have over 46.5 points in this game. Alright, so those are the predictions for the NFL this week in the NFL. I thank you for watching. Continue to watch my videos, subscribe to my channel, share these videos on your social media pages, and invite your friend to come in and watch these videos. And so this is another way to earn passively. And as I say, but you have to have multiple sources of income. And I thank you for your time, and continue to watch. As I say, you can pick what you want from these predictions. You don't have to put, as I said, anywhere from 3 to 5 predictions per slip. And so that's how you should do it. Yeah, that way you stand a greater chance of winning. Yeah, and so thank you for watching and have a great weekend. Thanks.